Hi there. A couple of things that I wanted to talk about today is breathing. And there's loads of different ways that we're able to breathe, loads of different aspects within breathing that we can take into various different practices. Today I want to talk about some aspects of breathing within Pilates, and I just kind of want to have a just part with some information perhaps, or also talk about some possible restrictions that people might have within their Pilates practice. So when we breathe in and we feel our ribs expand, right? Because that's what we're trying to do when we breathe in, that the lungs fill up with air and the muscles in the rib cage contract to allow the lungs to fill up with air. And then when we breathe out, the rib cage can relax. So the rib cage muscles kind of relax to a degree, without getting too kind of technical about what's kind of going on with the muscles. More so that when I breathe in, I'd like you to think about your rib cage kind of lifting off your lungs and allowing you to get more air into your lungs. And then when you breathe out, that could facilitate you connecting into your abdominal wall as those ribs shrink. Yeah, so if you think about it like an accordion, so when I breathe in, the ribs expand. When I breathe out, the ribs close. So there's just a couple of things that I'd like you to be aware of. So I'll just go sideways like this. What we want to try and get away from is rocking on the spine as we breathe in and out. So I'll just show you what that's like. So when I breathe in, if I go like this, or breathe out. So you could call that a rib flare. So I've changed my angle on my bottom ribs, or I've possibly kind of overworked some of the areas in my back, like that. Yeah, so that's why we try to get you to expand laterally, or like that you're filling up a balloon, you know, that you're not moving forward or back when you're breathing in and out. That's the first bit. If people find it tricky to get the ribs moving, the diaphragmatic muscles, the muscles underneath, I'm not going to show you charts today or anything like that. I'm just going to explain it kind of in simple terms. Your diaphragm, your central tendon, these muscles here at the bottom, which play a big role in the separation between your lungs and your digestive system, right? And also that they feed into your abdominal wall. Sometimes these muscles can be tight. So a nice way of getting a stretch in those muscles, and also then later on you feel that you're getting much more kind of length through your breath and so on by freeing up those diaphragmatic muscles, right? You can breathe in and hold your breath for 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, and relax. So that's a breath hold, right? Now I probably was breathing in and out as I was counting, but that's the idea of it. So that'll start to kind of get a stretch in your diaphragmatic muscles, and then it'll be the starting tool, if you like, for you to get length through your breath. I always try to cue that when I'm asking clients to, particularly on the exhale, maybe, I mean, you could argue the point, but that there's no tension in the jaw or in the neck muscles. So that it's okay, even on an inhale. So if somebody power breathes like this, that's very much compression of your neck here and can contribute to kind of forward head posture and possible shoulder problems and so on as well. So we want to try and get away from that. So it's more relaxed through the jaw, through the face, through the neck. So as I breathe in, as I breathe out, As I breathe in, let the ribs expand. As I breathe out. And on the tail end of that exhale, you'll feel your abs, and I haven't even instructed you to draw up your pelvic floor or pull in your abdominal wall or anything like that, right? So then, when we're bringing this all together then, so let's say if I did, I'll just show you an example without me cueing pelvic floor or trans abs, right? So you breathe into your ribs. Nice relaxed breath, breathe out. At the tail end of that exhale, even if I go for a few extra breaths, you totally feel your abs, without a shadow of a doubt, right? So that deep exhale, and that's what Joseph Pilates was talking about, my good friend Hannah Ryan, she talks about it as well. When we empty out the lungs and try to get that end stage. Now, the other thing is people can talk about, yeah, but Joe, you're compressing the body in, you're compressing your lumbar spine and so on. We keep moving. You keep stretching your ab wall, you keep rolling, possibly doing myofascial release work, extension work, rotation, hip extension work. There's a lot of free flowing areas of belly breathing, different disciplines. I just so happen to be talking kind of like focusing a little bit more on diaphragm release, rib cage ability, and the nature of the exhale. And exhale doesn't have to be this hard aspect to engage your stomach wall. Some people, they won't exhale this hard because they don't have to. If you're in tune with your ab wall, it's actually, and I've learned this a lot in the various different schools that have been taught through. You don't have to. You could breathe into your ribs, feel your ribs expand, and then I draw up with my pelvic floor. That's 30% of contraction from front and back passage, like you're pulling a tissue out of a box, right? Really light. That's one of Eric Franklin's ones. So that nice light, or the head of a drum, kind of the little movement of the head of the drum, right? Nothing, no serious kind of clenching through your pelvic floor, because that'll underwork then. You'll overwork your pelvic floor, so you end up with a tight pelvic floor, and then you won't get that engagement of your abs the way you want, and creating too much tension around your pelvic area and so on as well. So we don't want that, right? So when you breathe in, and then if you draw 30% of maximum contraction, and then 30% ab connection, then when I apply things like resistance, such as reformer or heavier mat work, so on, exercises, then you feel your ab wall working a little bit harder as a result of the nature of the exercise. But it's not to the point that I'm trying to pull in my ab wall as strong as I can. Why? Because you might get imbalances. You could get trigger points in your ab wall. You might be overworking your ab wall. You might be getting a little bit more of a connection in your deep lower abs and not enough in through where your trans abs connects into your diaphragm. So that's why a good balance. So, but getting back to the original point. So if you find it hard to connect into your trans abs at the start, or even if it's post-pregnancy and so on, just try those. There's kind of like that deeper breath connection can also help. So putting the whole thing together then, so I breathe in, feel the ribs expand, gentle. Then exhale, I draw up with my pelvic floor. I can anchor my sit bones down to the surface that I'm on. Feel my body heavy as those ribs close in and down. And that I'm strong. I've got this corset belt. And I feel that strength. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Don't belly breathe. Breathe into the ribs. Draw up and pull in. And you even feel it getting connected into the obliques as well. Breathe in, scoop. Then start to scoop up. Like you're caving out your stomach wall, right? Like you're caving out. Like that vacuum. Gentle. Then that's where you start to feel that connection right up into your deep trans abs. So that's what I'm talking about. So that's a little bit on breathing. I hope that helped. The breath holds I find really good. I bring in different disciplines. As I progress a little bit on, I'd like to kind of like share some of that little bit of different work with you as well. Not to confuse things, but it all helps to release the back muscles out, release possible stuck diaphragm, allowing you to mobilize better through your spine, stop you from kind of like working one area of your body and getting the power of the breath without actually having to work around that, using the power of the breath to merge into the integration of the muscular response without the other way around, trying to work hard through your musculoskeletal system, which you could be overworking, and then the breath is kind of like an afterthought. So it's just something to think about, and I wanted to put this up and share this. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.